Alright my friends, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew and today I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about PlayStation 5 Pro and kind of like I'm a little bit confused with people out there. So I went out, I mean this is a Black Friday sale. You can get a bunch of games on the PSN right now, buy them digitally, get a pretty good discount on them. And you can add to your collection. You can buy some more games right now. So what I did is I spent a little over $100 today, and I bought a whole bunch of games that everybody has, you know, basically been talking about. You know, on the PS Pro, I got Jedi Survivor. So I bought Test Drive Solar Crown. I bought Jedi Survivor. I bought Red Dead Redemption 2. I bought Need for Speed Unbound, F124, and the Crew Motorfest, so that I could check out some of these. I haven't been through all of them yet, but I did do the most important ones, Red Dead Redemption 2 and, you know, some Jedi Survivor, and I've been checking out Test Drive Solar, Unlimited Solar Crown. And, you know, guys, here's the thing. I get that the PlayStation 5 Pro is $700. Like I do. I 100% get that. I get that it makes people uncomfortable. I get that makes people angry. I mean, I'm honestly a little bit irritated that PlayStation put out a PS. Actually, that's not exactly true. I'm not really that irritated that they put out a PlayStation 5 Pro. I've been saying the whole time that they were going to do this. There was always going to be a PlayStation 5 Pro. PlayStation created the moniker, you know, last generation for a Pro system, and you know, I don't blame them for iterating and upgrading the console, you know, every 4 years, every 3-4 years. That's kind of okay. We get new phones every year. We get new GPUs every 2 years. So in the console space, if they were to, as long as, okay, these are my musts. They have to have backward compatibility. You have to be able to play your games and receive an upgrade, system level upgrade. And, you know, there needs to be support for the new console going forward. I don't want to be buying games and not getting a Pro patch and stuff like that. So those are like my prerequisites for like an upgraded console. As long as the backwards compatibility is automatic. You know, say games come out with dynamic resolution and clearly they have dynamic FPS, dynamic frame rate. So as long as those two benefit from the overall extra power bump in the new console, perfectly okay with that. That's acceptable. That should be expected. You get more power. Obviously, you're buying games. You want to invest in these games, especially if you're buying digitally. You want them to be able to be upgraded without having to wait for patches. So that is like the one thing that I'm like, yes, they need to have that. Backward compatibility, as in like, you know, previous gen console still needs backward compatibility, especially in the days of, you know, a lot of gamers switching over to buying digital games now. Backward compatibility has to remain a staple of the console going forward. Like when we get to PS6, we still need support for PS4 games. That has to be baked in to every console going forward. Especially now with the digital purchases, and it needs to continue to be able to be upgraded. Those games need to be able to continue to move forward and take advantage of the new hardware. There has to be new features, maybe baked in features. Maybe PS6 has, you know, console-wide console-wide support, you know, that brings frame generation to older games so that we can get 60 FPS patches without having to wait. Because, I mean, think about it. I'm testing Red Dead Redemption 2 today, and wouldn't it be nice if there was just a system level thing that added an extra 30-40 frames of FPS to that game? It would be incredible if it just had something out of the gate built into the platform at a console level that would just enhance the frame rate or enhance the visual quality or do something to improve that overall experience as you continue to invest money in the PlayStation or Xbox ecosystem. That is something that should be taken seriously. And then, okay, so when I look at that, when I look at the overall, and obviously improved features going forward, you know, better ray tracing, better blah, 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 whatever, you know, you know, PSSR, just new features going forward. So first of all, guys, I want to talk about the disingenuous negativity that some of these games are playing. Now, a lot of people were literally acting like Jedi Survivor is just the ugliest looking game they'd ever seen, and it's just this massive downgrade from what it was before. I got in there and I'm playing around in it, and I get to Koba, and I look at the open world, and I look at it. You know, having a 7900 XTX, had used a 4080 Super, I've seen this game on top tier hardware. And when I look at what PS5 Pro can do for this, I'm actually pretty dang impressed. Like, it feels smooth, it looks fine. I don't understand what people are really super upset about. But the one thing I noticed when I got to the open part of Koba is the bushes can sometimes look a little blurry. You know, I'm looking out there and I see the bushes just, you know, kind of like this blurry, smeary mess. And I'm like, I'm like, interesting, you know? I'm like, okay, I guess PSSR is having a hard time trying to reconstruct these really dense looking bushes that they have in this game. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, but then I'm looking at like the rock faces, and I'm looking at the ground textures, and I'm looking at the draw distance, and I'm looking at like all of these other things, you know, the character of Cal Kestis' character. I'm playing with the widest, you know, field of view that you can get. I'm looking out over the horizon. I'm looking at the HDR quality, you know, the shadow quality, the lighting quality. Like, I'm looking at all of this stuff in the performance mode, and I'm like, damn, dude, Digital Foundry can really affect people's minds. And I'm not saying this to like take pot shots at him. What I'm trying to do is, like, I watched that video from Digital Foundry, and they had me thinking that this game was just this massive downgrade and it just looked terrible. And so I'm playing it and I jump in there, and you got to understand, like, I've seen this game on top tier hardware. Like, I know what the overall best image quality you can get from this game is. I've played it with frame generation. I've played it with every single upscaler available, DLSS, FSR, and XESS. Like, I've seen this game at its very, very best, and I've seen this game on multiple different GPUs, from a 7600 XT all the way up to 4080 Super and 7900 XTX. So I know what this game can look like. Every one of these upscalers, not one of them are perfect in this game. Not one of them look freaking perfect. Not one of them really fixes or completely makes this game look like it's incredible. None of them. And so when I'm looking at it and I'm looking at the overall image quality and comparing that to like what I've seen previously from multiple different GPUs, the PlayStation 5 Pro holds its own. It holds its own with this game easily, hands down. Like, it is smooth, it feels good to play. I'm running around in the open part and I'm looking at this and I'm just like, okay, yeah, obviously there's some blur in the bushes and sometimes, you know, like some shadows flicker or something like that. But when I'm looking around at like other details that I'd previously noticed, like grates in the ground or something like that, you know, that would used to flicker really bad or would be unstable, they're definitely more stable on the PlayStation 5 Pro. When I go into other areas, when I leave the open world from the open part, the big open part in Koba, and I start going into like one of the alleyways, and the visuals start to look better, they look crisper. Obviously in that open part, it definitely, you can tell that the resolution kind of comes down a little bit. It looks closer to 1440p, what it would look like on Series X, or, you know, just that overall lower resolution type deal. And I mean, like, obviously it is noticeable. But when you look at the bigger thing, when you look at the bigger scheme of things, okay, we, as gamers, especially as console gamers, have been so used to getting 30 frames per second that we had gotten used to that. And now that we're trying to get into the 60 FPS, there's some definite growing pains when it comes to that. There are. And yes, some of the times that these games are not going to look super good, but they're gonna play very smoothly. Now, I still recommend, even with PlayStation 5 Pro, that like the best option that you probably could get to 100% fix and like completely enhance your experience is to get an OLED 1440p monitor that has HDMI 2.1 support, that you'll be able to utilize all the features of the PlayStation 5 Pro. If a game runs at 4K, it will downsample to 1440p and give you even better image quality. And then like worst case scenario, honestly, is you get a game that's 864p and it upscales to a 1440p, the game looks good. That's like my best opinion or best option for you to encourage you to be able to save some money and not feel disheartened every time a new game comes out. Because guys, we're pushing $2,000 GPUs like a 4090 and still needing to utilize upscaling just for that to look good on 4K displays. So don't feel bad if your Xbox Series X or your PlayStation 5 cannot hit 4K image quality. What we are getting from the PS5 Pro with PSSR, it doesn't necessarily matter as much of how good it looks, because I just told you how to get the best overall image quality from your PS5 Pro that looks absolutely pin sharp and incredible on a 1440p monitor. But if you really want that 4K experience, then yeah, you're gonna have to deal with image quality that doesn't look as sharp, doesn't look as clear, doesn't look as clean, maybe has a little bit softer image quality or softer tone, or maybe, you know, there's a little bit of flicker in the distance, or the draw distance doesn't look that great, or you've got blurry textures here, or you know what I mean? Like, I get that you want perfection, and you look at the $700 price tag of the PS5 Pro and you're like, I demand perfection for that. I used to be there. When I started this channel, I was very naive and I didn't really know what to look for, what to think. I figured, look, man, I just spent $500. They told me these are 4K consoles. I want 4K. It wasn't until I started buying PC equipment and building a PC and getting into things and like really learning and looking at things and learning, you know, what these systems can do, that I started changing my overall mindset and started looking for ways with other means, you know, other than just the GPU or the console or the PC, started looking into other things like the proper display technology that will actually enhance the image quality more than upscaling is going to do, or putting your PlayStation or your Xbox in 1080p mode, then letting your TV upscale it, because your TV does a very good job. Most TVs will do a very good job of upscaling from lower resolutions to fit the 4K pixels on the displays, and some TVs are significantly better than others, but there are ways to find ways to mitigate the overall experience that you're going to have with gaming. So I mean, like, honestly, if visuals are your thing, you should probably be a PC gamer. Really, you should. I put everything on my 7900 XTX. I bought a 3440 by 1440p monitor. When I get on there, everything looks pixel perfect. It literally looks pixel perfect. I've got more than enough power to run that resolution. It looks pixel perfect, and I 100% enjoy my experience. Like, I'm never left wanting for any experience that I've played on there. Like, it is just completely beautiful when you have when you have maxed out settings and everything else. You get an incredible image quality on pretty much everything you play. So honestly, if visuals and stuff are your thing, yeah, skip PlayStation 5 Pro. Go out there and build yourself the best PC that you can afford, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Like, you will literally see what I'm talking about. You'll be like, wow, I don't know why I wasted so much time on the consoles when I could have had this experience playing these same games, paying less money for said games and getting a better experience. And every time you upgrade your PC, you automatically get a free upgrade for your game. It runs better. I mean, like, once you max out on the visuals, it's not going to look better, but running better is absolutely going to help make that experience better. So there's a lot of ways to mitigate everything that you're experiencing. But like right now, guys, I do really feel like it is disingenuous the way that people are coming at these games with these PS5 Pro patches, and the way that they're like nitpicking them, because like for the average casual, they're going to get into Star Wars Jedi Survivor. They're going to look at that and they're going to be absolutely blown away. They're going to be absolutely blown away. It looks very good. When I was going through the whole city part in the very beginning, gosh, that looked beautiful. I could see all the texture and everything in like the suits and everything. It just looked incredible. When I started getting to Koba and running around in there, absolutely just looks beautiful, guys. Yeah, there's some blurry trees. Heaven forbid there's some blurry trees. Whatever. I mean, if that's the kind of thing that bugs you, then I don't know if console gaming is ever going to be good for you again. You should probably go to PC. In my honest opinion, all the games that I've tried tonight, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, Red Dead Redemption 2, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, all look incredible to me. I'm not disappointed with any of these games. So I will be testing out some more of these tomorrow and over the weekend, and I'll bring you guys the best content, the best honest content I can find you. And yeah, guys, I don't see the point of going out of the way to like really bag on these games, because I'm actually fairly impressed with Jedi Survivor. I think it looks good, man. I don't have any negative issues with it. I think it looks pretty dang good. So, all right, my friends, if you like this content, do not forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.